See what Force Gaming has discovered about Diablo 4 monetization. I cannot wait, bro. Please, I already liked, fuck it. Diablo 2 was the game that shaped my entire childhood. I played that game for like 10 or more years. Even with that, it is so unlikely I will buy Diablo 4. Blizzard has changed from my beloved game makers to my most hated, and Diablo 4 will have to be an absolute masterpiece for me to even consider it. And let's be real, it won't be. It's going to be alright at best. One reason why I love THQ Nordic or Iron lore. Grim Dawn's the game done right, in my opinion. They have the base game, they have expansions, then they have loyalist packs that just have some cosmetics to support them. This is the only game I have bought the cosmetics due to the amount of content I have got and how non-invasive they are. That loyalist pack is just a low key. If you want to give them a tip, you get some little goodies. Okay, alright. Let's see.
We got some pretty big news for Diablo 4 today.
Let's see, Diablo 4.
Blizzard has been sending out, hinting at some of their specific plans for monetization. On
$80.
There were also a few leaks from the Friends and Family alpha test showcasing character customization, difficulty options, info about looting, and...
Bro, Diablo Immortal is a mobile game. Diablo 4 will be nothing of the sort.
In-game trading or the lack thereof. But let's go ahead and start out with everyone's favorite topic first. That is monetization.
Yeah,
Blizzard has been sending out customer surveys recently, displaying various pre-order and special edition bundles for Diablo 4. The first one of these actually surfaced earlier in the month on October 3rd when a screenshot of a Korean survey leaked, but being in Korean and just a screen grab.
Here's the worst part. So, why is this not a problem in Lost Ark? Lost Ark is a free fucking game. It's not that big of an issue. Diablo 4 is gonna cost $70 probably, as well as have this, and we don't even know, it might even have monthly sub. Because it is a live service game, so we'll see.
It's only reported on a Korean site that I was unfamiliar with. It was kind of hard for me to verify the legitimacy. However, just yesterday, a complete version of this survey in German was posted online. This not only appears to verify the Korean one from a few weeks back, but it's also more understandable to me, knowing a little bit of German. Oder auf Deutsch, ich verstehe ein bisschen Deutsch. Not that that is necessary, because Google Translate exists, of course. Okay, so specifically, the survey presents various pre-order bundles, asking users which would they prefer. From this, we now have a list of at least some of what they are intending to sell, the short of which is that.
So here's the thing with that ability. This is why I really hate the snake ability, which I'm assuming is the new Hydra.
Bundle.
Look at this. This would indicate that all the enemies inside will get pulled into the center and experience a lot of damage. Look at this guy real quick. Look at this guy. Look what happened with him.
Was asking users which
he just fucking walked out.
They prefer.
He just fucking walked out.
We now have a list of at least some of what they are intending to sell, the short of which is this. There will be a box price, of course. This will vary depending on the bundle, plus the following items will be available for purchase. Cosmetic armor for your characters that, according to the survey,
there are those wings. Still, Tyrael wings are better, but just saying.
Has an unlimited number of uses, and being cosmetic, we will assume it will not affect gameplay. Mounts will be available for sale. Interesting note here, they say that this feature unlocks after completing the campaign, but of course you'll be able to buy a mount before you can use it. Duh. Mount armor as well, which they say is cosmetic only and has no effect on gameplay. Back adornments, such as cloaks and wings, again, they say this has no effect on gameplay. Now, for some of the fun stuff, there will be platinum. This is an in-game currency that can be used to purchase existing and future cosmetics from the cash shop. There is a battle pass which contains both free and a paid track, rewarding cosmetic only rewards. They are really driving that home in this survey. And then finally, early access will be for sale. Depending on the bundle you purchase, you will get either 2 or 7 days of a head start.
Luckily, I don't care so much about cosmetics in the RPG, so this so far has absolutely no effect on me.
So the bundle prices ranged from 40 to 150 euros, and the survey was,
unless it's wings, I like wings,
several pages long, presenting different price and offering configurations, at the bottom of which the users were asked to select which of these they preferred. And And I assume everyone just picked the cheapest options that gave the most amount of stuff because, of course, I mean, I get it, they're doing market research, but it's also just a little bit funny to me. Like, yeah, I'm going to pick the cheapest one that's got the most things included in it. That is the option. Just automatically select it for me, survey, okay? Now, as to the contents of the survey, what it reveals and what I think about it, we have known, of course, since Diablo 4 was announced that the game would have cosmetic microtransactions in addition to its base box price. Although part of me had hoped that they wouldn't go down the path of monetizing every type of cosmetic in the game. It seems like that is going to be the case. We've got skins for character armor, weapons were mentioned, cloaks, the back adornments, and mounts. I mean, that is just about everything you could sell a cosmetic for, short of them having skins for like your attacks and your spells. Yeah.
It's about to say,
totally possible that it's coming down the road, but yeah, they've got skins for literally just about every type of cosmetic that exists in the game attached to our characters. Although I was hoping that they wouldn't sell cosmetics for all of these things, I am also not surprised. I assumed we would be getting some variation of these different elements. We're getting all of them, but I assumed as much. Again, not surprising. However, as is so commonly the case in a lot of AAA live service games nowadays, they had to go that extra mile, and they are selling a season pass in addition to early access, and it's just so disappointing. That's on me, I guess, because Blizzard doesn't have a track record that should inspire optimism as of now, right? But here's the thing, like on their...
They have a track record that should inspire anything but optimism. Straight up.
Season passes are frustrating systems designed to induce FOMO and get you playing every day so as not to miss out on your rewards. I mean, it sounds like I'm reading from a dictionary definition here. And, I know you have all heard this spiel before. I'm sure you get the railing against battle passes and why they're an issue. I don't need to retread this ground. But I will say this, although I dislike the trend of so many live service games having these, seeing a battle pass in a free-to-play game like Fortnite, I get it. The game is free, and so a season pass functions almost like a subscription that a lot of players will spend $10 to $20 on every like 1 to 3 months, depending on the game and the season length and all of that. But here's the thing: Diablo 4 has a base box price. At the minimum, it looks like it's going to be $40. I'll assume that it'll be $50 or $60 probably. $60 game.
It's $70. They increased the prices for games from 60 to 70 this year.
Just let me just say this: $60 games should not have battle passes. That's my far out, right? And especially a $6 game that also has an in-game cosmetic shop should definitely not have a battle pass. That's where I'm coming from here. And speaking of the shop, of course, it's going to have its own digital premium currency, as mentioned in the survey. We've got this thing called Platinum, which, by the way, you 100% can guarantee will be offered in bundles that are just shy of the price of the items that they're expecting you to want to buy, because that's the entire reason in-game shops in games have digital currencies. They could just sell you the skin for $20.
I already know which character I'm playing. Straight up, that was the one. But if I'm playing
but why do that when they could sell the skin for 10 platinum coins? But that $20 bundle only gives you 8 platinum coins. Shucks. Guess I'll have to buy another $20 bundle. But then after purchasing the skin that costs 10 coins, you now have 6 coins left. What are you gonna buy with that? Absolutely nothing. So fork up another $20. On top of that, they'll probably toss you a few pity platinum coins here and there, but it's not them doing you a favor as much as it is trying to get you to think, well, gee, hey, now I got 3 free coins. I only need 7 more for that cool skin, so let me buy another one of those $20 bundles. And please try not to just roll your eyes and think I'm being hyperbolic here.
No,
this is
that's actually the strategy.
Reason digital currencies exist in games. That is the purpose. It's kind of like gift cards, right? Like they are expecting you to have money left over that you in your account that you eventually forget about and just never use. That's the entire point. That's how gift cards work. That's how these spend your dollars to turn into
it's a win-win situation. So either you forget about, so you buy a $50 gift card, right, for somebody, so you paid $50, right? Now what the win-win situation comes from either the person who has the gift card is not using all $50, or if he has a bit left and he's like, well, it's like $2 or $3 off technically from my next purchase because I have this gift card that has $3 remaining on it. So then the $50 will turn to $54, right? Something like that.
this currency, and then that currency turns into purchase, but you never quite get enough for the purchase, so eventually you'll just have money sitting in there and they just get it for free. It's not like it was like we're buying digital items, right? We're talking about data here. They're trying to siphon money off of that in addition to the fact that they're charging you for it. It's a whole thing. Anyway, none of this is surprising, unfortunately. It's also not unique to Diablo 4. A lot of games do all of this and much more. In fact,
they're usually free to play though.
Many games go a lot further in terms of how far-reaching they are with their monetization. And if nothing else, I'm not going to have an entirely negative slant here because that's just not how I function, right? I'm happy to see that they have stuck to cosmetic only. Based on this survey, they're living up to the word of not having things that affect them.
I don't think anyone expected Diablo 4, which is a purely PC game. Well, I say purely, but like intended for PC and not mobile, would not have pay-to-win mechanics. Even if it was free-to-play, I doubt Blizzard would make pay-to-win mechanics on a PC game. That being said, however, it is a game you pay for that has Battle Pass and a cosmetic shop. Maybe it even has subscription outside of the Battle Pass. I don't even know.
The game
I wouldn't be surprised.
Visuals, and that is good. As of yet, they appear to be keeping to their promise. The survey does not show any pay-to-win or pay-for-convenience features as of yet. No buying character slots or inventory space or materials or experience potions. None of that. I think the part that's frustrating for me and why I kind of got a bit worked up was that I expect better from Blizzard. That's all it is, really. I probably shouldn't. Like, that's well established by now. Blizzard hasn't done much to instill us with much confidence. And the truth is, they are just falling in line with what is currently standard monetization practice for AAA live service games. They are not straying far from that line. They're not straying at all. If anything,
I can't believe they let so many treasure goblins run away. Shame on them.
Like I said, they are below it. They are not selling any pay-for-convenience features as of right now. But it's just, again, it's just the same old story. Grew up with the company, grew up playing these games, StarCraft, Warcraft, Diablo, and there's this level of expectation that comes with that. I am not surprised.
Not anymore.
Some pay-to-win MMO cash grab comes out. Like, I don't get worked up by it because my expectation bar is super low. Even in spite of everything, I still have an expectation bar above that for Blizzard. And so seeing that monetize literally every possible cosmetic and then add a season pass and then make sure that the shop has that digital currency, and then I didn't even touch on the early access stuff. It's disappointing. I don't know, but that's on me. I gotta drop the expectations. I should keep them low. Keep it low. If I say it enough times, it'll sink in, right? And when it comes to early access, also whatever. They're gracing us with the opportunity to spend money to spread out the server load so that they don't run into the same issue they had with Diablo 3, where nobody could play for like a week straight. You can spend money to help with that, or you can spend money for that early access when things are still busted and you won't even get to play the game. Anyways, I was going to include a whole section here where we were going to estimate the price of the cosmetics. Basically, I was just going to deduct the base price.
I'm betting 15 to 25 bucks per cosmetic. That's my guess.
Of the game, let's say it's $40 from the bundle cost, and then look at what the cosmetics included within those bundles would be for that extra amount of money. But this is also kind of pointless, as these pre-orders and special editions, typically they offer significantly better value than if
Bro, whoever is playing this Archer doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
You were to purchase these things outright from the in-game store. So say maybe you can get a $30 skin in your bundle, but that bundle only costs $10 extra over the price of the game. Something like that. So essentially, point is, there's no way to accurately guess the skin cost from these different bundling offerings. It's just all completely wild guessings. If I were to ballpark it, though, I would say average looking skins will be $10 to $20. Some of the cooler ones, like the premium skins, the glowy ones with all the neon lights and stuff, probably $30 to $50, somewhere around there. That's kind of
I don't know about 50. I feel like 50 is too much for a skin. I'm betting on the 20 to 30, 20 being the low end and 30 being the high end of cool cosmetics.
Games do nowadays with these cosmetic offerings. As to whether or not this survey is legitimate, like can we trust any of this information, we of course cannot be 100% certain. There's no way we can know for sure unless the surveys start going out in mass to a ton of people and they all start posting it. At this point, we've only seen a few occurrences, but I will say the fact that these come from surveys sent out to different regions in different languages, and that the first one was like a cut-off screenshot, but the most recent one showed the survey in its entirety, I think this is a pretty solid chance that this is authentic. We've had some additional bits of corroborating evidence as well. In some of the Reddit threads about these leaked surveys, I saw several commenters claiming that they got sent the exact same thing. But then beyond that, you should also be aware that surveys like this are very common. Blizzard does it all the time. Earlier in the year, they had sent out surveys gauging players' interest in NFTs and crypto. That was super exciting. But then just recently, we saw surveys like this sent out about the pricing of Overwatch 2 skins, which, as you can see here, part of...
Oh, friend of mine got an Overwatch survey for his account. Some of these prices they're gouging for Overwatch 2 are really expensive. I hope this is just him getting one of the higher prices servers and not an indication that they're leaning towards this much monetization.
That survey was just a simple table with multiple bundle options at various price points, which is nearly the exact same formatting as this Diablo 4 survey. So my best guess is that yes, this is real. They do plan on selling everything mentioned in the survey. It's just at this point a matter of debate as to what the pricing will be. And then going forward, we will just have to wait and see what else they're going to ask money for, whether they're going to try to sell currencies, resources, inventory, and stash space. And don't forget, they sold stash space in Diablo 3. Reaper Souls gave you bonus shared stash. That's a thing they've already done. Or even character slots.
Yeah, there was.
You can only make 4 characters for free, and then you have to pay for more. I'm sure we're going to be hearing soon enough, though, because there's already also been a ton of leaks out of testing that is currently happening for Diablo 4. Which brings us to the next part of the video. Blizzard has begun friends and family testing for the game. According to Jason Schreier, this started earlier in the month, and while under NDA, he's...
I am very surprised that Jason Schreier is getting all this info to this point. It's like they know he's spreading this information, right? It's like, who is leaking Jason Schreier? Find him, fire him.
Said that it had been getting mostly positive buzz. Now, maybe unsurprisingly, some of Blizzard's friends and family members didn't quite grasp the concept of what an NDA was, and so now we've got a bunch of new information about the game. So for starters, there was a short clip released that showed the intro cinematic as well as the login screen and the character creator, during which the person recording said, "Bro, I really don't even know if I can even stream this." My bro. No. No, you cannot.
No, you cannot.
Thank you for your sacrifice. We appreciate the information. So the character creator had several preset options to choose from for face, hair, accessories, and coloring. There appears to be no option to adjust character height or body composition, so it does seem that each class in the game will have their own distinct silhouettes. And then when finalizing your character, you are given the option to choose from normal, seasonal, or hardcore, which is similar to how things are done with Diablo 3. But then after you selected that, you get to choose a starting difficulty. There was World Tier 1 called Adventurer, which was suggested for new players, and then World Tier 2 Veteran, which ramps up the enemy difficulty in exchange for better drops, experience, and gold. And then finally, there was an additional layer of choosing more or less guidance for the game's starting tutorial.
The mobs here do run a lot faster, though. Like, if you saw, like, he's trying to, like, move and attack, and the mobs just keep catching up to him. So maybe moving and attacking is not going to be as easy as it was in Diablo 3 and Diablo 2.
Tutorial. Oh, and I am not actually going to show any of the leaked video or images here because it's a guaranteed way to get this video taken down. If you are interested, it's just a quick Diablo 4 alpha leak Google search away. Also, bless the people who leaked this information. Unfortunately, since there were watermarks with account identifiers plastered all over the content, whoever did so has almost certainly lost their access. I guess consider it a learning opportunity of what an NDA is. Now, as for what we saw here, there was nothing especially surprising in these leaks. The character creator was pretty straightforward, and and for me at least, not too important with how rarely we get a close-up look of our characters in top-down ARPGs. The thing that I am quite interested in, though, is this world tier system. Now, while you may just want to jump to the conclusion that this would function like it does in Diablo 3, where you pick your difficulty, the torment level as it's called, and that scales the challenges as well as the rewards, and then you launch the game and there you go. You have to remember the main difference here is that Diablo 4 is an open world MMO light, and you're going to see players running around as you move through the world. You'll see people farming mobs, doing quests, fighting bosses, participating in public events. Other players will be pretty much everywhere all the time, the one exception being some of the game's instance dungeons. So with that in mind, I'm really interested to see how this world tier system plays out. I would have to assume that we will be placed in lobbies with people of the same team.
Well, it's probably either phasing or mob scaling, something like that.
Here, especially considering things like world bosses and public events, where the different difficulties presumably couldn't play together. Although it is possible, I do recall some games having done something along the lines of encounter scaling based on an individual player settings. So for example, like if I picked World Tier 2, maybe it takes like 100 fireballs for me to kill this world boss, but then someone comes along in World Tier 1 and they can kill the boss in 75 fireballs. We could technically still play together, and then just our rewards from that boss would be dictated by the tier that we're on. So I would get more gold and better loot drops.
But I feel like that would cause so many problems. It's like someone who's playing on like World Tier 1 hang out with a World Tier 2 guy, and the World Tier 1 is just like massacring everything, and the World Tier 2 guy is just getting tons of rewards, and then they swap, you know, and then they do the other way.
It could work, but it also sounds a little clunky. Like, would it really play out that the player with the higher difficulty is just straight up weaker, taking longer to kill a boss, or dying in fewer hits? I mean, I guess it makes sense. If you're on a higher difficulty, things are harder. And, you know, level scaling is one thing. We do know that level scaling will be in the game, but this world tier system or this difficulty setting, it seems a whole lot more complicated. So for that reason, I want to say they'll just keep it simple, and they will have separate instances based on the world tier that you select.
Probably
although that also makes things more complicated when it comes to playing with friends. I don't know. And I swear I heard there would be over 20. I actually heard there would be over 30 difficulty settings. I don't know if that means 30 world tiers, because that would be ridiculous. There's no way they've got 30 different hoppers.
No, I think that would be for like specific instance dungeons and raids, something like that.
I don't know. I'm interested to
kind of like Greater Rift 30.
Interested to see how this world tier thing plays out. Outside of that, there was also some leaked information around smart loot and restricted trading. Although I do believe we've known about both of these for a while. I'm not sure if Blizzard ever confirmed smart loot, which is basically loot drops that are weighted to your class. So
there should always be a bit of smart, like in these games where like you can play alts and stuff like that, and ARPGs. There should always be some smart loot, but not mandatory. When you play something like World of Warcraft, there should always be smart loot.
So, for example, you won't get a bunch of druids.
Except maybe like old content. It's like, but honestly, even old content, I would argue if it's BOP, it should be smart loot.
Staves if you're playing as a barbarian. I don't know if they came out and explicitly said that that was going to be in Diablo 4, but it was a feature in Diablo 3, so I assumed as much. Limited trading, on the other hand, we have known about back at BlizzCon 2019. They touched on this, saying the idea is that we have 3 different types of tradable items. There's a class of items that can always be traded no matter what, and then we have a class of items that are tradable, say, one time. We are also thinking the highest quality, most powerful things in the game should be items you can't trade at all, that you have to earn yourself. You have to go do those endgame dungeons and kill monsters to get the loot. So these leaks coming out of the Friends and Family Alpha, that there is like limited trading in the test, that's not news, but this has brought back up the whole debate around smart loot and around limited trading. And that can be an entire video in and of itself. You know, the long and the short of it is really limiting trading. There's the arguments for it are that it's supposed to help combat bots and real money transactions where people spend money to trade items directly with other people using third-party sites. But then, of course, the big argument against it is that this is just implemented into games to pad out playtime, forcing players to grind things over and over again, just relying on the small percentage chance drops for certain items, and not being able to engage with other people and have this like functioning in-game player economy. Pros and cons to both systems. Like I said, it could be an entire video in and of itself, but
I mean, it's really hard to itemize that. I honestly believe all items, if you didn't equip them, should be tradable. Once an item is equipped, you can't trade it. That's it. Just fuck it. Swing it that way. No, honestly, for all I care, all items are tradable at any point. Some items you just won't, like... Here's the thing, if you're like super rich, you might not even want to bother wasting your time trading a really good item because you're not gonna get anything out of it, you know? It's like, whatever you get is like, it's not worth the effort kind of thing, not worth the time invested. It's like, even if you get to that, like... can always get to a point where it's like, trading is just not worth your time. Like, you know, let's say like you play Diablo 2, all your characters are maxed out, you got all the best in slot. It's like, but you still enjoy playing the game, right? You drop a perfect grandfather and you have nothing to do with it. It's like, are you gonna trade it to someone? Or are you just gonna give it for free? Or just gonna throw it away? Like, kind of waste your time to like even think about it, really, because like, you know, you don't need it, and you know you don't need anything at all in this game.
Just wanted to share with you those links, those leaks that, yes, it looks like the smart loot drops and limited trading are in fact going to be in the game, at least as of the current build in the Friends and Family Alpha. Speaking of which, the existence of this Friends and Family Alpha pretty much confirms that we're probably going to be getting closed beta testing sometime soon. It's likely that they will be sending out just small pools of people. They're going to be sending out invites because Friends and Family typically in the past for Blizzard games have begun like a few months before closed betas started going out. So yeah, there is a decent chance playtests might actually be starting this fall for Diablo 4, which is pretty exciting. All of my concerns about the game and all my frustrations about the game, it all stems from an interest in the game, an interest in the franchise, and wanting to see how things play out. The monetization stuff, it is, like I said, really disappointing. It's really frustrating that they're going as far as they are, but on the flip side, at least for now, they have lived up to their promise of keeping it cosmetic only. The battle pass is just something they neglected to mention. Yeah, right. Oh, what a coincidence. They neglected to mention, but if that is all...
I'll be surprised if Dragonfly doesn't have a battle pass.
Also cosmetic only.
At this point.
I guess they haven't lied about it, I guess. They just, you know, they're putting on the extra layer of FOMO. Like, make sure you play every day so you can get enough experience to level the battle pass and get those cosmetics. And also, you probably want to spend the money because all the good stuff is locked behind that premium track. The top track is all garbage. You're wearing trash bags,
about right.
basically.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, when I talk about stuff like this and when I make these videos, going in on certain aspects of games, it's because I'm genuinely interested. There's so many games out there that I never talk about, I never cover, I don't care. So many games that do way worse than this that I don't spend time railing into because the expectation and my interest level is too low.
Is Blizzard the scummiest company on earth when it comes to monetization? No. But is the company whose games you love and want to play. So it's relevant to you, right? Is Warcraft the worst MMO ever? No. But it's an MMO, you want to be better and you want to be good because you want to play that game. But you can't right now because it's fucking dog shit.
It doesn't matter. But the stuff that I'm interested in, like all the talk about the day before game and all the issues surrounding that
headphones
and stuff like this, because there's a level of interest. I am actively invested
but
in
they have
how this thing turns out, for better or worse.
They have a string, so I don't like it.
So there you go. That is all the recent information about monetization, Friends and Family leaks, and all that stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, the talk, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.
Minus 99%, I love it. That's it's not a clickbait. Well, I mean, it is also a clickbait, but it's also like a caption bait. Caption bait. Single games should not have battle passes. Yep, that sums it up pretty well. The worst is to see that the industry's slippery slope approach is working. Okay, last year's... with early access pay and with early access. Uh, yeah, anyways, my expectations for Blizzard are going down by the year, so there's that. Anyways, that's the video. Force Gaming. Holy fuck, man. Oh, why am I yawning so much today, huh? That's crazy, bruv. That's crazy, man. Anyways, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. But first, before I go, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.